Hi ka-learners! Welcome to another episode. People like to be informed of the events that happen around them. They want to find out what's happening to their country and the world. How about you? Do you know what goes on in your community, in the country, or in the world nowadays? Do you know the issues being discussed in today's radio programs? Are you aware of the events being featured on television? If you are aware of these events or issues, have you ever thought how they can affect you? Being a Filipino, it is your responsibility to be aware of the things that are happening in your community and in the Philippines as a whole. This is because these events and issues affect you. In this lesson, you will learn some problems and issues that affect the whole world. Since these problems affect the whole world, they affect your country and your community too. After this, you are expected to be able to discuss the following issues and explain how they affect the Philippines. Number 1, AIDS. AIDS stands for Acquired Immune Deficiency Syndrome. It is a disease that is caused by a virus called the Human Immunodeficiency Virus, or HIV. This virus enters the body through unprotected sexual intercourse, sharing of HIV-infected needles during drug injections, blood transfusions, and organ transplantations. An infected mother can transfer the virus to her baby. AIDS cannot be transferred through casual contact such as touching the HIV-positive individual, sharing food or eating utensils, using the same bathroom, or through a mosquito bite. The only way to find out if you have HIV is through an HIV antibody test. What does AIDS do to the body? When a person is infected with HIV, he or she may look and feel healthy for years until AIDS develops. HIV infection develops into AIDS when the virus has attacked the body's immune system. This makes it unable to defend itself from infections and some cancers until the person dies. Why is AIDS a global problem? As of the year 2019, about 38 million people all over the world have been infected with HIV. In the Philippines, as of 2019, there are around 70,000 Filipinos diagnosed with HIV. Although there is still no cure for AIDS, medications developed in the past years have been highly effective in fighting HIV and its complications. Drug treatments help reduce the HIV virus in the body, keep the immune system healthy, and decrease the complications of the disease. People with HIV or AIDS are people just like you and me. They are different only because they have inside their bodies a virus that leads to a disease that up to now has no cure. They must not be despised or feared. Now that you know how HIV or AIDS is acquired, you should be able to apply what you have learned to protect yourself and your family. Number 2, illegal fishing. Illegal fishing is practiced not only in the Philippines but also all over the world. Many fishermen resort to this form of fishing to increase their catch and earn more. Dynamite and cyanide are the most commonly used methods. But in doing so, they destroy the seas and the creatures that live there. This is a problem that many countries face. Because of this, tougher laws against illegal fishing and other activities that destroy the environment have been enacted. In the Philippines, the Coast Guard is tasked with apprehending or catching fishermen who practice illegal fishing. However, many illegal fishermen still get away with their bad practices. The Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources also has programs to limit illegal fishing. Some communities have formed their own Bantay Dagat projects to make sure that illegal fishing does not happen. Number 3, toxic wastes. We produce a lot of hazardous wastes from agriculture, industries, hospitals, and even households. Toxic wastes are solid, liquid, or gas wastes that cause death, illness, or injury to people and destroy the environment if left untreated. In short, toxic waste can kill people and cause harm to our environment. Ideally, hazardous waste should be properly disposed of. Waste should be segregated or separated into biodegradable or non-biodegradable wastes and then properly disposed. Biodegradable wastes such as plant materials and food refuse can be made into compost for use as fertilizer. Read the module on composting to find out how this is done. Non-biodegradable wastes, on the other hand, must be recycled. Recycling is a process by which materials such as metal, glass, tin cans, and plastic are transformed into materials that can be used again to form new materials. Since non-biodegradable wastes do not decay, we must try to reduce them by reusing materials such as plastic containers or by recycling. Reduce, reuse, and recycle are the 3 R's of waste reduction. Our next problem is a bigger one. It is about environmental pollution. There is air pollution from the exhaust of industries and motor vehicles, water pollution from dumping of untreated chemicals by industries into rivers and seas, and land pollution from dumping of harmful chemicals into landfills or runoff from garbage sites. When the environment is polluted, people could get sick. Air pollution leads to problems in breathing. Water pollution can lead to diseases because humans need to drink a lot of clean water every day. When the land is polluted, people can get sick too. It would be harder to grow plants for the people to eat. Is environmental pollution a problem that affects the world? Yes, of course. Air pollution, for example, increases the harmful substances in the air. These substances, especially the chlorofluorocarbons or CFCs, affect the ozone layer of the Earth. The ozone layer prevents too much harmful radiation from the sun to reach the Earth. Because the ozone layer becomes depleted, more radiation enters the Earth, and this leads to a lot of problems. Because of global warming, the Earth is now generally warmer than before. This leads to changes in weather patterns and the melting of polar ice caps. When the ice in the North or South Pole melt, it could lead to flooding of many cities all over the world, Manila included. Our final 2 problems on the list is caused by a political problem: landmines and nuclear weapons. This political turmoil leads to war. War is terrible. Countries go to war for a lot of reasons. It could be a dispute over borders or territories. Wars could also result from disagreements over political issues and other problems. The point is, war is terrible. Whenever countries go to war, a lot of people get killed and a lot of properties are damaged. When countries go to war, they use arms or armaments. These are weapons that can kill people and cause a lot of damage. The more powerful a weapon is, the more it destroys. They can use landmines like what they did in Vietnam. These landmines are left everywhere. It would be very hard to locate them and defuse them one by one. So even up to now, many people step on these landmines and get crippled or killed many years after the war. In worst cases, they use nuclear weapons like in World War II. If another world war happens in the future, nuclear weapons could be used again. If that time comes, the Philippines runs the risk of radiation from a nuclear attack of a neighbor. Nuclear weapons and landmines could cause a considerable destruction of life and property. Match column A with column B. Column A. Letter A. Due to changes in weather patterns. Letter B. Results in harmful radiation. Letter C. Due to the destruction of the ozone layer. Letter D. Virus that causes AIDS. Letter E. Materials that decay naturally. Letter F. Disease that lowers the immune system. G. Kills small fishes and destroys corals. H. Bombs planted in soil. I. Prevents accumulation of wastes. J. Accumulation of harmful materials in the environment. Column B. Number 1. Flooding. Number 2. HIV/AIDS. Number 3. Nuclear weapons. Number 4. Landmines. Number 5. Dynamite fishing. Number 6. Biodegradable waste. Number 7. Recycling. Number 8. Pollution. Number 9. Global warming. Number 10. AIDS. You can check the answers when you log in to your online account. Some of the problems that affect the world and the Philippines are: Number 1. AIDS, a disease caused by the virus HIV that attacks the human immune system. It is a deadly disease that has affected more than 20 million people all over the world. It is primarily acquired through unprotected sexual intercourse. It can also be acquired through sharing of HIV-infected needles, blood transfusions, organ donations, and from mother to baby during birth. AIDS still has no vaccine or no cure today. Number 2. Illegal fishing. Fishing methods that limit fish populations and destroy water environments, such as dynamite fishing or using poisons such as cyanide fishing. Number 3. Toxic wastes. Solid, liquid, or gassed wastes that are hazardous to health and are harmful to the environment. Number 4. Environmental pollution caused by accumulating hazardous wastes in the environment. Number 5. Landmines. Bombs that are planted and left hidden in the ground. They explode when somebody steps on them. Number 6. Nuclear weapons. These are weapons of mass destruction based on the power harnessed from the atom. Landmines and nuclear weapons are similar because these could still cause harm many years after wars have ended. And there you have it. We hope this lesson created more awareness on your part. Thanks for learning with me today, ka-learners. See you again on the next episode.